Alrighty. How's you all doing? I, I had done one of these videos at the beginning of February. I believe it. I did one back in January. And I redid it again. Oh, look at that one. So that one. Right, let's do another one. I did it at the beginning of February. Trying to get a feel for the environment and what's going on across this little blue and green marble we call Earth. And it seems, whilst not publicised, and it will be on the bottom just as a extra type thing. It seems that I'm thereabouts on par, which is a good thing because some of the things that I was saying in the video resonates. So the things what I was saying in the video at the beginning of February resonates with what's being said recently, right? So reading minds, knowing what you're doing before you do it. Earlier than that, you're watching my network and you're watching how these videos are being recorded and you're quickly jumping on it before I do. So, he did it before you did. Likely the other way around. Likely the other way around. There are such things of just coincide with things and understanding movement of the environment, should we say. Anyway, the content in that video is still relevant nonetheless. So as I said in that video, I don't mind repeating myself, but I don't think I need to on this occasion. So the idea is just have a look at that one as well as this one. So what did I put down here? Effectively, yeah, everything is in amongst listening to what's going on the networks, listening to what's going on across all of the other areas and parts of life that we do and don't. Looking at my situation within it all and when stepping forward and out of the shadows, so on and so forth, it is safe to say now, after even stepping back from that beginning of February video to coming back to it again and sitting there now, so a couple of weeks later, it is safe to say now, with more confidence, that I am now in what you would say a pre 2010, 2009 position. More like 2009. Looking good. Looking good. What I didn't explicitly say in the other video is basically what I'm doing with the business side of things, which is kind of like the part that I'll leave with. We'll leave on. Right. Uh, it includes the Epstein saga and all. So, it's a lot going on at the moment. I mentioned about the Chinese New Year. So the Chinese New Year is we're in flow of it now with celebrations and so on and so forth. And a lot of people might ask, well, what's the relevance of it? Well, in essence, you could say there's a great deal that goes on when it comes down to um, Eastern mythologies, astrologies, and so on and so forth, along with people do with Western mythologies, astrologies, and over encompassing or otherwise differing paths of theological understandings. Yeah? So there is, there are relationships within them, especially when you're talking about social psyche and expectations, manifestations, and so on and so forth. All these little things that go on. Yeah. And I bring it up because I think to myself, well, we have what we have over this side, and then we have what we have over that side. Right? It kind of balances out. You've got the month on month, and then you've got the annual thing. So the overarching, and then you've got this, so the bigger picture, and you've got the smaller elements. It helps people to get an anchor on things. I'm not saying it has to be real or it is real or the fact that it's a rule in some senses. It's just a way of being able to focus the mind. For example, the year of the fire horse. It is. When it comes down to the zodiac sign itself, and looking at the synchronicity of it all, whether it be lunar or whether it be solar years, what did I note down here? Right, so basically, it's there's a kind of looking at overcoming obstacles, right? Independence and dignity, leadership, family. So it's time to put aside old grievances and settle in indignant problems such as the wars and Epstein saga. Thinking about how to build strong and prosperous families. And I'm not talking about just particular families, I'm talking about all families. Remember I was saying to you before about the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. While I agree, to grow the whole, that is construct of sum of parts, you need to build those parts to increase the whole. Right? As this will assist in the rebuild of the economy. When I say the indignance and sorting out the wars and the Epstein saga and whatnot, I said it in the other video, right? It literally resonates with the idea that it's the boys' club. And this is where people come to meet and swap numbers and, you know, little secrets to be able to elevate and move on, right? The upshot of it all is there are more people involved in that than what people would like to admit. It's there, unfortunately. Yes. So as I was saying, it's safe to say that to build trust, build faith, and move forward, it's with intent and integrity. The process must go full swing. So the whole Epstein thing must go full swing. Yeah? Allow it to go full swing. Prosecute those who you're prosecuting. At the end of the day, removal of peerages. It's not an if or a but or a maybe. You removed title of a prince. Yeah, from sovereignty. Remove the sovereign title. Yeah. Why should it be any different for anybody else who've got titles? Yeah. So if that is the case, to settle it across here, if they've got a peerage, gone. No ifs, no buts. Write your legislation, law, or whatever it is you want to call it nowadays, but make it an overarching one based on gross misconduct. There it is. Make it an automatic thing. Don't just do it for one person or another. It is one person, another, across the board, because that is what law's supposed to be about, is it not? Yeah, it's supposed to safeguard one from the many or the many from the one, depending on which way you want to look at it. It's for everybody, including those who are dispensing of the law. Yeah? Those who are discussing the law, as in Parliament. It's not just exclusive to one group or another. Yeah. So yeah, if you remove the sovereign title, you remove a peerage. Pretty simple. I know, it is. It's really weird, isn't it? How simple some things can be. Well, it's not that simple, you know, you've got this. No, there is nothing to consider. Because what needs to be considered has already been considered. Evidence. Remove it. Right? Not the evidence, the peerage. The same with Trump. I'm sorry, Mr. Trump. No, no, don't bother doing that. Right, Mr. Trump, it's the same with yourself. Unfortunately, you may as well accept the fact this is your final term, your only term. Well, not only term, because you had one before. How you managed to get that, and this current with this current mindset, is not beyond me, but it's very really. But then you did what Mr. Blair did, and all others have done, and the Mandelsons have done. You gifted the gab. You have no idea what you're talking about, but gifted the gab. Yeah, made it sound appealing. I've been paying attention and I've been going back over the historical side of things and whatnot, and it's there. It's all there. So I got all of that, and it's because of like I started to think back again, backwards, to be able to come forwards. And from my understanding of the mastery, and I'm like, well, I didn't realize I was actually doing, but that is what we're doing. I started having a browse through the books again, through the theoretical bookshelf, hypothetical bookshelf, uh, online. And I did actually come across Laws of Human Nature. I think I read something similar many years ago, but not to this extent. Anyway, started listening to that, and it's actually quite enlightening. Some people say, well, what's the relationship between that and the previous one? Well, if I would probably recommend those who are of business and politics, those who are part and parcel of sociology and various other bits and bobs, you probably, I would, if you haven't already come across it and knowing what I'm talking about, it would be a wise one for you to read. Right? So, law of human nature. When talking about elements that have been brought up already surrounding narcissism, yeah, to why, very much interesting. I've started to have a look at it and looking at the deep narcissist leader, and functional narcissism. Right, it's interesting what I was able to not only find but to create. Because as I've said in the last video, I believe it was, moving it, I won't move on too quickly. Or shall I move into? As part, yeah, I'll keep it in sync. As a part of closing this down to give you an idea of the business side of things, I've started to play around with an understanding of the traits, narcissism. Now, believe you me, it wakes you up a little bit, and it's like, am I like that? Do I display signs like that? That sounds a little bit like me. You know, you knock me off, and I get quite pissed off, and it's kind of like, but then I'm saying that I know how to hold my tongue when I need to hold my tongue. Yeah, I don't mind repeating myself if I know that what I'm saying is being listened to. But there's that whole balance side of things. You're like, oh no. But it's like then also, well, I've spent all these years not suppressing. No, 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 no. That's very unhealthy. Not suppressing, but refining my understanding internally. This is internally my understanding of what egocentrism is, the impact it has on the outside world and internal worlds, the relationship that the two worlds have with each other, and how to better be able to become, in terms of business, a consultant. Yeah, so a master consultant. We're not talking about just, well, I think I know better, you know, and whatnot. It's more about listening, understanding the nature of what it is a person's asking, what direction they want to go in. If there is particular personality traits in there, is it suitable? You know, being able to communicate differently with different people. As I've mentioned to people in the past, adaptive, being adaptable and talking with people in different ways so they understand what's being put across to them. But also maintaining that sense of presence that you all have come to know in one capacity or another. Yeah, that I don't take shit from anybody. Right? I may sit quiet and I'll listen. I will, and if I feel as though it requires comment, I'll comment. If not, I'll just walk away, or I'll let you walk away. And they're like, it's going so thin up, so much traffic. But still, and it wakes you up a little bit. You think to yourself, oh, you know the whole conversation a couple of years back about imposter syndrome, right? It's kind of like it puts you in that frame of mind. Bearing in mind, if you do read it or listen to it, whichever way you want to do it, and you're not familiar with it already, then don't let it scare you, all right? Or don't let it put you in a frame of mind where you get angry. Just listen, right? Because some people can be a little bit sensitive. You may not fall within that bracket, but you might be sensitive. So, yeah, I won't call you empathic, but your level of empathy might pick up on the personality traits, and in sense, you try to defend yourself from it. So, allow yourself to listen to what's being said. You know, you'll understand where I'm going with it then. But it's a good read, and it is. Man, some of the authors that I've been listening to are these, I say authors, readers, very good. I like the voice. Very nice. They've got a very pleasant, kind of steady voice. See, all of that plays into understanding of the demagogue side of things. You've got like I say, your Tony Blairs, we're told. You've got your Mandelsons, we're told. You've got, say, for instance, the Farages and the Trumps and various. Those are the men. There are women out there as well. Um, As far as names go, the whole demagogue side of things. Right? So I've begun to build, so coming, swinging it back around again to be able to put it back on track again, swinging it around in and amongst the white papers that I've created, that I'm progressively developing for the business side of things, for consultancy side of things and whatnot, is I'm actually working on a framework for it. Apparently, it's unique. It is something that is uniquely the way I see things and the way my brain works. I'm glad they're figuring it out because, my brain works in weird and wonderful ways. Yeah, it does. Pivot a conversation quicker than a Tupper's. And there's, but still. So when starting to look at things like that, yes, it forms part and parcel of the business model now. It's more about consultation, right? And I've started to work on, I won't call it a sales pitch, more of a mission statement, USP embedded into it. There is, beyond the consultancy, there is the fabrication side of things. I'm starting to retool now, reconditioning one of my pieces of equipment. Other one is on its way. There's a few bits and bobs to be able to sort innovations out. The one I was talking about a couple of months back, and the reason why I was saying pre 2009 is the designs are originally made, even though I'm seeing them kind of floating around out there now. Actually, it's as if my actual ideas have been lifted up and people are playing with them. Long and short of all of that is innovation side of things is catching up. Right? It's nothing to do with my designs, I don't think. At least I don't think it is, but I know that they're catching up, which is a good thing. And the one that I've done, it works. I've just got to do some parts for it, and then I can build shall we say, the breadboard or the actual prototype platform to test all of its micro component, the more segmented components, to be able to then move the actual design onto the next phase. Because since drawing them last, the designs have evolved again. Right? The designs have evolved again. They have. just letting them let the brain mull it over, and all of a sudden the manifestation of like what can be done and so on and so forth is all there, and it's like now we're working on something. Now we're looking good. So we're getting there. There it is. My recommendations is along the lines, even from a social perspective. Read a bit more. Find some books of interest, even if it's audible, right? Electronic books. Listen to them in the background while you're doing something. Thing is if you miss a bit, you can always back it up. You can and listen to it again. Mhm. Or otherwise, you can just sit and chill and listen to somebody, talk away. Whilst they're talking away, if it sparks, this is what works for me. If it sparks a thought while it's talking, you can back it up, pause it, play around with the idea, and then run it again. Dominoes. Yeah, I can do the video. So there you go. That's it. That's all you're getting from me this time. You've got another one below. You have. Again, I've been playing. I've been a naughty boy, yes, and I've been playing, yes, because I want to see what's going on. It's for my benefit, my sanity in some ways. You know what I mean? It's a case of right. This is what's going on. This is what I'm thinking. Let's record it, put it to a side. It's all timestamped, so basically, there's no way of anybody saying, "Well, you did that afterwards." So yeah. How do we know that you didn't make that? It was like, no, no, no. Yeah, timestamps and everything. Yes. So the upshot of it all is it's just playing, just figuring out where we are on the path of things. As I was saying before, it is time now we started looking at wrapping up these. I know it's not as simple as what I'm making it out to be. I know that, you know that, but it's compressing it into a conversation this short. Time to wrap it up. It's one of the reasons why I've said, right, America, you've got Blair, who's been moseying on around in the background looking for an opportunity since he came out to work in Iran and Iraq and Israel and whatnot. You lot just focus your attention there. As long as this is not a gravy train thing, right, you'll just piss off a whole host of people otherwise. You will. And there'll be nowhere for you to escape. Allow Europe to take care of Ukraine. Hopefully Europe will pull its finger out of its sorry ass and over and start to overcome its bureaucratic bindings. Interesting, isn't it? The way people do this. Yes, instead of worrying about soft power and presentation and so on and so forth, deal with it. Right? Get on with it. Do something about it. Right? There you go, folks. I've given a pushback. Right. You enjoy the rest of your day. Right? Right. You're getting there. You enjoy. Have fun. Anything else, give me a yell. I am still listening, and I'll see you again soon.